Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be continuing One Piece episodes 39 and 40. Yes, we have had a lot of kind of action-packed, dramatic, crazy episodes the last 4 to 6 episodes, but now we're getting a build-up to Luffy needing to fight to actually get into the fight here. Unfortunately, he's sunk in the water and needs some help, but I love this build up. I love that I don't know, I've just loved the last few episodes. They've been so like something I've noticed about One Piece. They're perfectly placed, like in order for like this buildup to happen. Obviously, you know, making you care about the characters, care about the circumstances, and just everything kind of just feeling right. I think that's something that this show does just so great. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Feel free to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/AJRich123. As well as you can go follow on the Twitter at AJRich123, and let's go ahead and start. Yeah, now they have to fight them off as fast as possible. If I'm gonna go by like Dragon Ball Z logic, 5 seconds is like 10 episodes. I can't imagine this guy actually like super mad. Is this a real fight? You know, it's hard to take him seriously. Like, even take the fight seriously, but he is stronger than he looks. I thought my video paused. That's how much of an awkward pause that was. Probably a little bit differently than Zoro's used to fighting, I'm sure. Yeah, they just have to bend over and do nothing. Yeah, they definitely don't want to get in the way. It'll, you know, do more harm than good. Yeah, I don't think she cares at this point how injured she is. Okay, he's definitely been down there for a while. Meanwhile, he just gets to lunge around and watch. I mean, I'm curious, what is it? Now we're back to this, him being at a disadvantage when he's fighting here. It seems like he's always, like, hurt or something. What, being on top of a building? With 6 swords? Yeah, Zoro's not a normal person. Seems like he can take pretty much anything. Of course that type of, like, damage would, you know, take a toll. You don't want to get beat by the pigtails, man. See, this looks really bad, because I was under the impression these guys were not that strong. Okay, he is doing a technique. I was gonna say, like, does he have any, like, actual skill with them? Probably not anywhere near as much as Zoro. Or are they they must have maybe been holding back a little bit. Sometimes you can get kind of distracted by personality. Yup, he's gone through so much. Zoro has gone through so much up to this point. There's nothing that's gonna, like, stop him from his goals and his, like, what he wants to do in life. So something as simple as this, or, you know, being hurt or recovering from a previous fight, especially these secondary, like, villains here, there's just nothing's gonna take him out like this. So him standing up, I mean, is that any surprise to anyone at this point? I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot there is technically a third fight, but it's more like it's more like a run than a fight. Yeah, probably not really planned. He's more of an on-the-fly type of guy. Wow. He caught up kind of fast. Probably should have continued running like that. That is amazing that he can strike that fast, like, and that hard in the water while trying to hold your breath. What is going on down there? Even while, like, laying down or almost passed out, he can still smoke. That is true addiction. Yeah, I mean, he's used to being, you know, taking a beating, so that should be nothing. We've seen him fight barely conscious already. I mean, even if it's not the normal swords he uses, can he still put enough strength into it? I mean, technically, if you look at it, he has an advantage with the 6 weird arms. Okay, that looks like a straight up, like they're dancing here. Oh! You gotta love the slow cut that happens. It's like, who got hit? But I think we already knew which one was stronger. That's really basic, like, thinking. And that still, you know, is engraved in his mind. And then, of course, you know, Luffy's down for the count at the moment. Well said. Okay, not literally. Yeah, he's not very bright. I think you just have to expect them to go for whatever your weakness is and where you're hurt. Normally, you would think that would be death, but not for Zoro. I mean, you kind of look like you could do well in a circus. I mean, technically you guys could, but probably wouldn't have a chance. I think that fight really does push him as well. Because now you have someone that you lost to that you can achieve to get better. Simple cutting. Yeah, that's a lot of damage right there. Oh. Well, free octopus for everybody. There's an obvious difference. He was just too dumb to realize. At least she was able to get herself up. I mean, that's a self-inflicted wound, but understandably. Yeah, I think there's a lot of strong people on that restaurant. He really wants to go help Luffy. And he finished his fight, so... Oh, he's going after him. That might not be a good strategy because they're going to be stronger now. He's going to have a harder time fighting. Exactly. Oh, that's what they did? They stretched his neck that far. That was so smart, and only Luffy could do. I mean, he did see one of his people just get beat. Oh, yeah. 'Cause technically, he was underwater for a really long time. That was actually a strategy I didn't really think about at all. About like being able to just stretch. Sometimes, you know, when he fights, you think his arms, his legs, you know, his stomach, but I didn't even think about like stretching his neck that far because it seems like it's an absolute, there's no boundaries on how far he can stretch. So stretching his neck out that far and so he can breathe still until they can break the rock made complete sense. I have to give them credit. Holy crap, what a strategy, thinking on, you know, on the that fast to be able to think of a strategy like that. That was awesome. Also, it's hard to take like you know, Arlong's, you know, side people seriously just because, first of all, the stupidity of that octopus guy was just beyond, you know. Zoro saying something really eloquent and talking about, you know, the weight of his sword and what's there, and then he's just thinking the actual, I don't know, that was just kind of funny how, like, because he was really serious about that. Really, added weight was him losing, you know, to Hawkeyes. That is literally probably one of, you would at the time he didn't like it because he got defeated, obviously. But when you think about it, him losing gave him even probably more drive and more determination than he had before. Now he has something to live up to even more so. He has somebody that defeated him, kind of like when he was a kid, that drove him to become even stronger and changed him, right? Now, in this same instance, I think this did kind of the same thing. It's, you know, it made him defeatable, meaning he has to get stronger, and it's something to push you. And as we've seen from this, him talking about the weight of his swords and why he will keep and continue getting up, that was great for him. Probably one of the best things that could have happened to him is being defeated and surviving. I at the time, I didn't really think about it, but now that we were kind of seeing, and especially when he was talking about it, it makes sense. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah, and now he has the advantage. And this was the issue about him going to help. You have to give him credit as well, though, that he's lasted this long underwater. Attack him with the ponytail. Yup, it seems to be even more challenging underwater for them. Ah. Ooh. They can fight at normal strength, with everybody else having it reduced underwater. Though it seems most of his moves would be generally slow, though. He's taking quite a bit of time to do each attack. Yeah, we knew Sanji was gonna have an issue with, you know, being able to fight like this, but we need those, like, air bubbles. You know, like from the old school Sonic games? We need an air bubble right now. Oh, man. He's got to push his way through here. Do something. And Usopp's not going to be able to help. I mean, it's not really fair. Technically, he really does have a huge disadvantage. You know what's really funny? This is gonna be a little, I mean, in subject but off subject. You notice when, like, villains or anybody, like, any type of bad guy does, like, the monologue when they're talking about somebody's gonna die, this is gonna happen, I'm gonna do this. Do you ever think, like, isn't that kind of something you don't want to say to people that will, like, you know, that'll affect them? Like, whoever they're facing or whatever, they're down for the count already, and you're spouting all this stuff. You're actually igniting an adrenaline rush from anger, from being mad. You could really actually, by saying that, push them to fight harder. that's actually a negative thing for there's literally no incentive to say anything like that. You're already gonna do that. You're actually making it harder on yourself by making the other person mad and then making them ready to fight even more. And they wonder why they lose in the end. Villains wonder why they lose. That's part of it. I want to know your guys' opinion on that in the comments, because I just think that just came to me. Like, saying something like that's gonna push him. Of course. You're saying things to trigger and anger them. Oh, that much pressure? Oh, he stopped right there and they have different ways to fight in the water and in land. But wait, how? Oh, because okay, that makes sense. Wow, that gives them actually a huge weakness. Yeah, it was like suffocating. Sanji, I think both of them have an advantage, or anybody has an advantage out of the water against them. When you say Zero, is it really Zero? See, you triggered Sanji, and it made him technically stronger. What? Oh, too slow. Ooh, sending the enemy through multiple walls. Now I feel like I'm watching a fighting anime. There we go. You had to use the one-liners. You had to use the one-liners. I fucking love it. I guess you didn't want dessert. Yeah, the strategy that he had obviously worked, but the thing I thought was he was already kind of slow in the water, right? So I thought his speed in itself was a weakness, but once he went to the land and they're fighting, Sanji was just 1,000 times faster and was able to get behind him, and like it was just very, very easy and simplified for him, which was great. And I still, like I said earlier, I really think like saying all those bad things and saying what's going to happen to everybody else is not an advantage for you if you're a villain. Yeah. Multiple walls broken with body images. I mean, you technically just watched it. I mean, you were watching it, like I said. Ooh. I mean, he held his breath for a really long time. It should. I mean, their strength should push the people around them. But on the other side, Usopp didn't have as good of luck. Holy crap. I guess you can count that as an ability. Oh, goddamn. Wow. He really did get rocked. Oh, ketchup? Yes. Of course. I was gonna say, isn't that like overkill on blood? Shouldn't all his like, that would be, it was like way too much. Oh, so everybody thinks he got into a huge fight. Like he got into like a humongous fight even though he didn't really. Everything that they're saying is making him kind of change the way he's thinking here. Nobody else is holding back. So how can you? He can't justify it with himself. Rightfully so. We know he has drive as well, so. Yup. He doesn't want to win that way. If they're risking their lives, how can you not? I'm so glad he came to that conclusion. Did his attack really not touch him? Damn. Oh, backup plan. He's scared of a rubber band? I mean, he still ran. I mean, he's running, but not running. Oh, so that's the water gun he was talking about. Oh. Damn. I mean, you technically chased after him, so... I mean, he's not leaving. You have to give him that. Ooh, we had alcohol. That was smart. And now he has to. Yep, now he has to go in the water. Ooh. Technically, wouldn't you want to keep him out of the water? So get rid of the fire, let him burn a little bit longer. That's a lot of hammering. I think we can call that a win. I'm impressed. I mean, that's a legit win with him, and he didn't run away. Yeah, now they're gonna need help. Holy crap. Ooh. I mean, they're already pretty beat up. Ooh. Is it the speed? Is it the speed that he's sending it? Must be Nami. Ooh. Did you guys see the look that she had there? Like, that is somebody you don't want to mess with. Like, do that much stuff to her, work on that much stuff for years, and then, you know, break your promises and, you know, find a loophole to what you're doing. That, I mean, and then, you know, her having kind of a breakdown and Luffy being able to kind of pull her away from it, it really set her up for success here to be up to fighting him. I think, I mean, we know that she's strong and we know that she can fight, but I'm trying to think back to all these episodes so far. Like, we haven't seen her full on fight. We haven't seen her fight like Zoro or Luffy. Or now, I mean, even Usopp has got kind of a legit fight. So so her strength in general, I feel like this is going to be a good way to kind of gauge that. But also should be at, even though she did stab herself and she might have a little bit of a disadvantage because of that, she's still hurting from it. But I think this, especially with the anger and just everything, it's going to at least give her a chance to be able to fight him. I think Luffy's going to be needed for sure. I mean, that's an obvious thing because Luffy, you know, how strong he is, I think he would have the best chance. But I think Nami should be able to put up a fight for sure. And I think it's worth her being able to fight against him because she needs that. Reduce some of the rage you have and show that, like, you can't let somebody like that walk around that, like, literally messed with you to that point and drove you to what she had to do. Like going through all of that, of course you're going to hate this person more than anything. I also want to give credit to Usopp here, because he could have ran away, and I think he was like trying to talk to himself and tell him, hey, he was trying to tell himself that he was able, I'll just tell them a story, everything will be okay, I'm okay just playing dead here. But in reality, him being around Luffy, being around everybody, seeing how much they fight, and I think this can be kind of equated to anything really in a group. When you see other people doing good things around you, or they're kind of inspiring you indirectly, it'll make you want to be better. And I think that's exactly what happened here. He realized the excuses he gave forever, he can't really give anymore. When you see, I mean, you left, you wanted to be a real pirate, you don't want to fake anymore. You can't do that. You can't be like that anymore. And it was awesome to see, even though he does it his way, running away, using tricks, but that's just part of how, how he fights. And it worked, obviously, in this. He used a little bit of smarts too, being able to set him on, put alcohol on him, then setting him on fire, and then just hammering the crap out of him like, kind of an over amount of times, but it was great. I really think that was kind of an underrated thing in this episode. I feel I have to say I really appreciate Usopp actually having some growth in this, and all of them really. I mean, Sanji stepped up as well, came up with a good strategy and then got out of the water and beat the guy. They were both already hurt, especially Zoro. So now them, the underlings being defeated, and Arlong fighting now. Of course, they're not going to stand a chance. The guy's really strong for one, but two, they're hurt to a point where they're not going to be able to do much. It's just a severe disadvantage, like just a very big disadvantage that you're not going to be able to dig yourself out of. Like that. So it's good that Nami showing up there, and hopefully they're being able to figure out Luffy, because that's definitely going to be needed. But anyway, great episodes. I can feel the build up here. I can feel, I love that we're finally getting to Arlong fighting, because I want to see him get his butt kicked. I mean, I haven't liked a lot of the bad guys we've met so far, but I think if we're going to add them up together, I think he's probably he's probably the worst. He's the worst by far for what him directly did to Nami, with the amount of time and just like bullshit she dealt with. I think he probably is on the top so far, from just being an overall scumbag. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Also, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/AJRich123. We're a few episodes ahead over there, so check it out. Also, I have twitch.tv/AJRich for streams. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.